do not stay in jobs that you are not happy in, because if you are not happy in a job, it's likely that it's not meant to be your path or your journey. So, be true to yourself too.
Binance Blockchain Week 2024, it's a great event until now. First of all,
I hope that's not fair.
I'm sure that it will be amazing A to Z. Tell us 2 words about yourself and your mission at Binance.
So I'm the Global Chief Marketing Officer of Binance. And what my role is to drive our brand, to drive our user growth, and to ensure that we're showing up in the right places, both for the existing community and to invite new users in. And that could be anywhere in the world because we operate in over 100 countries. So it's an incredible role, huge challenges with it, but incredible opportunity.
Looking to 2025, because we are seeing a lot of changes in the markets, and we need to get that 1 billion users. How can we get that 1 billion users? Are people still attracted to funny things about Web3, maybe meme coins or something like that? Or they're just more oriented to utility and they actually want to see something solid coming from the market?
Look, I think, Binance ourselves, we added 100 million users since 2023. And as you know, we've hit 233 million users. And I would argue, or I would propose that it's all of the above that you described that are shining a spotlight on this industry. The institutional spotlight since the beginning of the year, the ETF approvals have meant that there's been an influx of, previously crypto skeptics who now see the wonderful value propositions of these assets and understand the long-term utility and opportunity. But likewise, meme coins, you may describe it as a hype, but it shines a spotlight. And that's up to us then to use that as a moment to capitalize on, to help educate people in the right way. So, to be very focused on what your question is, I think it's about education. It's about changing perceptions about this industry. People see us as scams, but, I would argue that the scams have been cleaned up much faster in crypto than they have been in traditional finance. So we just need to spotlight and tell the positive narratives and the positive stories and focus on the utilities and the products and services that can optimize people's users. And that's ultimately how we as an industry are going to get to that critical 1 billion mark.
Does a perfect marketing campaign exist, or how do you define success in marketing?
There's so many ways I define success in marketing. I suppose there's 3 buckets though, as a marketeer. Look, I'm a brand person. That's my background. I'm a storyteller. I have a master's in documentary making, bizarrely. But I would say the first area that we look at is brand growth. So social and community is core to us, listening to user feedback. What is the reach, impressions, engagement, being obsessive about that data? What's the sentiment? Is it positive or negative? We use that then to inform, our full omni-channel approach to marketing and how we show up in every channel and how we respond quickly. That's one thing I love about crypto. It's the fastest playbook, of any marketing in any industry. Secondly, it's really about user growth. So without users, without our community, we aren't anyone. So it's looking at, are we growing? What are our monthly active users? What are the products, the cross-product usage? What's our trading volumes? Where are their blockers? So that's where are their opportunities? What are they capitalizing on? So that's a big area for us as well. But thirdly, from a marketing perspective, we're a 5,000 person company with a large number of users and a massive obligation there. And I've got an incredible 235 people on my marketing team. But that's still, in the grand scheme of operating in 100 plus countries and with this number of users and trying to ensure we're personalized and messaging in the right way, that's a huge undertaking. So it's being, operationally effective and efficient, using the right tech stack, using AI, generative AI to do basic designs. So we're focusing on, richer designs using the talented people that I have in my creative team. So it really runs the gamut. But those 3 kind of areas are what I look at as a marketeer and what my team looks at as well.
Okay, so you're open to using artificial intelligence. And
yes.
How do you see the integration of blockchain with artificial intelligence for marketing campaigns, for example? And also, what are, let's say, 3 main points of the strategy of Binance for 2025 when it comes to showing itself to the people?
So there's two big questions there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with the generative AI. So look, we're using from a marketing, from a business perspective, we're using AI across all areas of our business. And as you know, we've some of the smartest technology, blockchain technologists, in the world. So they're constantly looking at how we can optimize. Everything from our education internally, on compliance, on what is the future of blockchain from Binance Academy, to from a marketing perspective, we're using generative AI in our campaigns. We're using it now with our affiliates and our KOLs to help them understand how they can pivot and open and tell stories or capture people's attention in a really interesting way. We're also using it, just to be more efficient. I am someone who digests information not by reading, but by listening. So, I'm using some tools at the moment that allow me convert articles, long form white papers into very quick conversations. And what that allows me is digest that in a way that I, take in information.
Yeah.
That's the way my brain works. So I think we're using it, it's still early days, a long way to go, but I think we're using it in our campaigns. We're using it, in terms of our platform, and I'm excited, huge opportunity there that I'm, not the right person to speak to, but the potential is huge.
What are three main points that Binance wants to tackle in 2025?
Three main points. One, future is regulated. We know it is, and look, I want to be really clear. We have 20 licenses and growing. Where we don't have a license, it's usually because there isn't a framework or a clear regulatory, guideline and parameter and with which you work. I know that is not always something that sits well with the OGs, but it's something that we believe is important because we as Binance, as the largest in this ecosystem, as the largest industry stakeholder, we have a massive obligation to protect our users, both current and future. And the purpose of regulation is to protect users. We need to remember that. And if we don't have a voice at the table and we don't represent those users, we don't know whether that regulation is going to be right for the multiple stakeholders. So that's one of the main reasons we're so focused on regulation. And also, we're already looking at how we follow, local guidelines from financial promotions. We do not want people to enter into this space without the requisite understanding or the knowledge in order to be able to navigate it properly. So that's a really big obligation that we have. Second of all, it's optimization of both our existing products and services and new products and services. Our UI and UX. I think I've spoken to you about this before. That really is going to be the next big battle in the Web3 space. We need to ensure that we are creating frictionless, barrierless entry points for people in crypto. And we need to ensure that we're putting products in the hands of everyone in order to get to that billion mark. It has to have utility for you. So whether it be you want to engage with, a potential future Binance card, or whether it's Binance Pay, or whether you want to be a hodler, we have to create all of a suite of products and services that are able to be tailored for what are our diverse users. I think the third area that is, significant and something, for me is growth. I am charged with ensuring that we continue. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants who built the Binance brand from day one, some of whom will be with us today later on. But it's how do we scale and amplify and tell the positive stories and drive and propel the momentum of this industry forward. And that's something that my team, working with all of our incredible leaders and our incredible BUs within Binance focus on in order to be able to, really scale and really be able to bring this to the masses and move from what is this early adoption stage that we're still in into something that's more mainstream, where everyone, has crypto. It's part of the fabric of everyday life. Yeah. So that's the three big areas for us. Two big for the company, one particularly big for me.
Okay, and now let's get to some personal questions.
Oh, okay.
I hope you're ready.
I'm ready. Oh my goodness.
So, first of all, how do you manage to work with such a big company but still don't put necessarily emotion in it? You don't take emotional decisions. You take the best decisions. How do you manage to do that?
I would argue that emotions, and empathy is one of the most important traits in a marketeer. You have to understand. Okay. And Binance, we're not a transactional, functional finance brand. We are a lifestyle brand. and we try and bring emotion into everything we do. And that's one of the reasons I was attracted to this industry from sports. You know, you see these incredible users, these super fans, you know, they follow you, and we have that in crypto. I just need to understand how I scale that. So I bring a lot of emotion, as my team will probably tell you, into the decisions I make and into how I approach our marketing team and how I empower other people to make decisions, you know, within the team. It's a big part.
If you were, let's say, I don't know, 18, 20, would you start all over again in the same industry? Or if you were to start in 2024, what would you choose?
I have a really big position. I'm a 20-year veteran of marketing, entertainment, media. I have no regrets in my career. I really feel like everything I did to the point before joining Binance was training. But I would say if I was 18 or 20, you know, when you start your career, you know, whether it's straight from school or, you know, side gigs, or you have a fear, you know, you want to be doing everything then. It's just, you know, the biggest, I love when new people join my team and they're young and they're passionate and they're fearless. Yeah. So, you know, I would say if I look back now 20 years, I probably had a little bit of fear. But my father had always said to me, you know, go through doors without knowing what's on the other side. And that's one thing that I would say to your viewers that are interested in that, you know, be fearless. You know, take the step. If you've got like a sick feeling in your stomach, that's usually a good thing, you know, so just take that step in.
I love it. And now for the final question, but I think that you already answered it. What piece of advice would you give to the younger generation? And how do you think that they can achieve success in this world full of information? We're bombarded with all kinds of stuff, but we still have to get through everything. And this is the final question.
Just get involved. You know, and keep focused. You know, I'm a big believer in manifestation. I know it's not easy. Like, I remember thinking it was hard. You know, I didn't have many connections. I had to hustle to, you know, to make my way in. I didn't have someone opening doors for me. And that's the majority of people. And, you know, I try and pay that forward now for the people that helped me on my path. But just get involved. Like, if you're really interested in the space and you want to work in this space, reach out to people on LinkedIn or Telegram. Come to events like this. Be fearless, go up to people and say, hey, can I chat to you about what you do? Can I learn more? You know, I've made some great hires from meeting people at conferences who I just love that they've got that energy and that fearlessness. You know, I talked about that they're able to come over. But I would just say get involved, be curious, and stay passionate. Do not stay in jobs that you are not happy in, because if you are not happy in a job, it's likely that it's not meant to be your path or your journey. So, you know, be true to yourself too.